I'm John McMillan. I graduated from Glasgow Caledonian University with a degree in computer games development, then studied my PGD at Glasgow University, and I have been a secondary high school computing science teacher for 4 years now.
My name is Aya, and I finished the University of Edinburgh, a psychology degree, and now I'm doing master's course where I'm studying psychological therapies, and in the future I hope to become CBT therapist.
My name is Lewis Forsyth. I graduated in 2020 in the pandemic. I done politics and sociology at Aberdeen, and I now do urban studies PhD at Glasgow, so it's kind of a neat little transition for me.
I'm Megan. I graduated last June, I think it was, so June 2020. I done the undergrad in LLB at University of Strathclyde, and then I went on to do the diploma in professional legal practice. And now I'm a trainee solicitor at Burness Paul.
Biggest worry was that I wasn't ready. I went straight into university after high school, so the concern was everybody always spoke to you about the real world and the big bad world, and there is that fear that you're maybe not ready for it, or you don't feel as prepared as you should be, or sometimes there's a bit of imposter syndrome when you look around.
Uncertainty. I didn't know what's going to happen, where I'm going to go. Am I going to get onto the master's course? Am I going to have enough financial support? What's going to happen?
Having to make that change to go from, being a student to then suddenly having to deal with Outlook calendars and meeting requests and actually can you get that to me quicker and stuff like that. That was a bit daunting at me because I was so used to a much more laid back sort of lifestyle. So that was a big concern for me, as well as just getting a job, I think, which was on everybody's mind, especially in the middle of the pandemic, which was scary to say the least.
I think my main concern was, first of all, finding somewhere to go, because I didn't actually have a plan. I didn't have a job at the time. But once I'd overcome that, one of the main challenges was feeling like I was going to fit in wherever I went. It's quite scary going into the world of work and not having much experience in it before. I was lucky enough that the firm had given me an internship in a smaller high street firm, but I knew that I wanted to apply for one of the big commercial firms.
Realistically, when you get stuck in, you quickly get the idea that everybody's in the same boat, everybody's learning as they go, and although it was a worry, it quickly became one of those ones you realise isn't a big concern or a big issue.
It's finding yourself in a world of different ages, if that makes sense. Like, not in a bad way or a good way, but you go through the whole of university stuck with people 18, 19, 20, and then you're in this world with 30, 40, 50-year-olds that treat you as an equal. And that's cool. I think, when you're in uni, you feel like a student, you still feel like a kid even though you're 21 or whatever. And then you go into the professional world and you kind of still expected to be a kid, but you're not, and you're just you're an adult now, which is a good feeling. Life
after graduation was sort of what I thought it would be. It's a lot more busy. You have to manage your time more. You need to sort of be organised and things like that. But the social aspect doesn't change. I was worried that it was just going to be work, 9 to 5, and that was you went to your bed and that's all you done. It was just work, work, work.
It has been difficult and there have been challenges, but it's everything I wanted it to be. I'm happy with my career. I'm happy with how I'm progressing and developing, and I'm happy with the way that throughout university and my time with the Robertson Trust, I was able to sort of gain the skills, the attributes, the qualities to help me get there and continue pushing. I think one thing that I really like about my job is that there's never any stopping. There's always something to do or something to learn or something to be a part of, and I was nervous about graduating, but if I could go back in time, I would change that to excitement. I don't think I was excited enough to graduate, and I think now looking back in hindsight, I'd be able to say to myself, you should be looking forward to it because it's going to be great. loved Out of Bound. I am more of a hotel, 5-star, Wi-Fi type of person. But that taught me that you should always do something that, always do the things that you don't like or you don't think you like, because at the end of it, it's important to go, I've tried it, still don't like it, don't need to do it again.
It's daunting at first because you've not even been to uni yet, and you've suddenly got 7 people from the trust telling you, come to this weekend with people you don't know and we'll go to all these activities, and it's a little bit like, wow, steady on. But you go and it's brilliant, and I think everybody that goes comes away saying, what a fun time. And a lot of people as well came out it conquering fears, saying that I would never have climbed up that hill if it wasn't for this experience, or I'd have never got in that canoe, or never jumped in that lake or something. So that was a fun memory, and it's a great way, I think, to kick off your time with the trust, because it's like intensive bonding. You've got 3 days to just get to know everybody and you're done.
In the first year, I received mentoring, which was again connected to Robertson Trust, and there was always this person who was next to me, supporting me and telling me, you can do it, you can do it. And I was saying, I don't know if I feel smart enough. And she was saying, I felt exactly the same. And she was a mature student, also with children. So she was kind of in the same situation, and that was helping me a lot. And then on the second year, I started to do a lot of volunteering myself. I became a mentor, and I was doing exactly the same to other people. And that's how it just continued with other volunteering opportunities. I was mentoring young children. I was volunteering in Children's Hospital. And then I actually made my own charity because I was supported by a Self-Development Award from Robertson Trust.
The thing that I always think about when I think about the trust is the yearly meetings. We all met up and we had speakers and the trust spoke to us and stuff, and at the start of every meeting, when someone from the trust would get up and talk about how we were inspiring and we were going to be future leaders and stuff, I remember honestly every meeting thinking, I am not supposed to be sat in this room. You listen to these amazing speakers, some of them were peers, some of them were alumni, some of them were people that worked at the Robertson Trust. But you then start to realise throughout the meeting, actually, I do deserve to be here. And I've taken that away with me from the Robertson Trust. The Robertson Trust have fully given me the ability to step back and go, I am able to do this, I can do this.
Always go on and on about the biggest help is the internship. Hands down the internship. The money is really helpful, the support is really, really helpful. It's all really, really helpful. But that internship, especially when you're going for jobs and you're trying to make a case as a graduate, that internship just makes all the difference. A lot of people don't have that opportunity because rightfully it's hard. A lot of people either need to give up a wage to do something for free, or they need to fight for a really, really competitive paid one. And having that lined up through the trust was amazing, and then taking that in interviews and saying, actually, you know what, I'm ahead above the rest of these other candidates because I've got that reward experience already. Taught me so much about that concern about being professional, about how to approach people you don't know and be professional as well, like in meetings with other organisations, things like that. And it's just a confidence boost as well. It's really just a confidence boost to say, actually, you know your stuff.
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome.
That has been and still is, my biggest issue, my biggest battle, I suppose.
Going through uni and thinking someone's going to find me out, that I'm not meant to actually be here, and then graduating and then going into an even scarier world. It's hard to feel like you belong sometimes. Overcoming it, I think, is realising that it is 99% of the time in your head. It's just totally a mental game. It's you or your own worst enemy in that case, and holding yourself back from it. I think everybody around you is telling you, crack on, you can do this, no bother.
You do have these skills, you do have these qualities, you have worked hard, you do deserve to be where you are, and you are ready for the next jump.
But it's just you, that little nagging voice in your head saying that actually you're going to get found out, somebody's going to clue on. It's just your own head, you can get over it if you just sit yourself down and say, actually, you know what, if you weren't meant to be here, you wouldn't be. It's a bit cutthroat, if you weren't here, like, somebody would just tell you, here, jog on. It's not like that.
Right now I'm actually involved in so many things with the Trust. I'm helping with the mentoring programme, which has been really, really good. At first I was like, do I have time for this? But it's nice to virtually meet up with the other mentors and speak to them about how they're getting on, and obviously everyone's scholars, so it's nice to keep that sort of community and have the chat with everyone.
I always going to remember this, and I honestly think if ever at some point I'm gonna have an opportunity to sponsor anyone who was in the same situation as me, I'll definitely do it. I am trying to do it with my own charity when I work with younger people.
As an alumni, I think LinkedIn has been key to keeping in touch with scholars, alumni, and sort of the staff at the Robertson Trust. One thing that I do, and I'm shocked at every single time it happens, is you'll always receive a reply.
You don't stop hearing from the Trust. You always get the odd email or whatever just to keep you updated and ask if you want to come along to events, which is nice. It's not like you don't finish and you're just forgotten about and that's it. You can tell the support sort of carries on. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. I think it's quite easy to come out and think you need to have everything done at once and you need to act a certain way and be a certain person, but you don't. You just have to be yourself, and I think that's what comes across best. You
will not love every second of every day, but it's more about overall, do you enjoy what you're doing? And as much as the Journey to Success programme might be finished, your journey to success is not done. You just now have the tools, and you have the Robertson Trust and all your fellow graduates and upcoming alumni in your corner behind you, ready to cheer you on and push you forward. So